Good morning, everyone. Oh, it went from a nice warm day. It's much, much cooler today. And we got some snow coming, not till Sunday, supposedly, but when I went to the barn, it already felt and smelt like snow. Yes, how does one know? I don't know. Could be 2 days away. That's what it felt like this morning. So we have a fire going. Yes, yes, yes. So, Uh, I did go and read up on some things, and one of them was I went and looked up goat sheets, goat hair sheets. That was actually really truly a thing, and I thought, man, what kind of goats did they have at that time? Difficult to really know, right? But they had black goats at that time, some type of breed, and yeah, I'm not sure. And then I watched one where someone actually with Angora goats. That's what they use, but surely the Israelites didn't have Angora goats. So, well, anyway, so I kind of watched it, and they did. They made these big sheets out of, and then or just like on a loom, they were about, I'd say about this wide, and then stitched together specifically, just like it says in Exodus. And one thing about goat hair sheets is that when it's warm and hot, the hair or the sheets it shrinks and leaves these little holes and stuff for air circulation. Interesting. And then when it rains, it's actually really waterproof. The hair expands and, yeah, it makes kind of the whole thing waterproof. Interesting? Yeah. Well, anyway, so I went and looked that up. There's not much information on it, but I did find some. Then the other one, there was also the ibex, the wild goat, but man, they got horns. I can't quite see how you would take hair from a wild goat. But then again, I wasn't there. I don't know. Acacia wood. I went and checked that out. It's really durable wood. It's water resistant. It's very durable, long lasting. And it's an evergreen. Yeah. And it looks like it grows in the desert in places that there isn't a whole lot of water. This snap, which would explain why it's so durable, right? Makes it a harder wood. Well, anyway, but then also, okay, so how spiritually acacia wood, what kind of meaning did it have even in ancient times? And it's one of regeneration, perseverance, and integrity. Interesting. Yes, I don't in particular put an animal as an animal to me, and a plant is a plant to me, and a tree is a tree to me, etc., and so forth, right? And it just connects us all in a certain way, right? For our benefit, for our survival, right? For our happiness, for our success, right? Yes? Yeah. Never to abuse, to always be a keeper and a user, but to never be an abuser, right? Yes? Well, anyway. So there is that. That's what I uh, kind of studied up on a little bit, and interesting. It's just interesting. I found way more about sheep than I did goat. But goat's hair sheets. There you go. Right? Yes. All right. We are in 27. I also ended up going and checking out if anybody has made a replica of the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant, and the whole surroundings and all. Well, one thing that I completely missed is that, and maybe that's still coming up. I'm not sure. Was because it goes all the way to 40, uh, and we're only on what 27. Was the surrounding fence that they also made. Other interesting thing on how the different posts that I viewed, or different videos that I viewed on YouTube on how people had different ideas on what was described in the Old Testament. Again, how do we see things? Oh, and a cubit, what's that now? Next thing I say, Cupid, is a man's elbow to the end of his hand, roughly 18 inches. Well, anyway, that's okay. Cool. Okay, all kinds of things come to my mind when it comes to that. Surely there had to be the same man measuring everything. Yes? Just saying. Well, anywho. Oh, here comes the altar of burnt offerings. That's Exodus 27. You will make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide, a square. The altar will be square. Oh, I just said that. And 3 cubits high. At its 4 corners you will make horns. The horns must be of a piece with it, and you will overlay it with bronze. So here's one thing. I could go into my other Bible here and it would say something different, because that's what they mentioned in the videos as well. Well, they weren't sure what the curved parts on the top meant. Were they horns? And again, okay, so where are the translations here? Well, we don't know the difference between a horn and something different. Yes? And again, does it irk some people that possibly it could have been horns? Because horns are so often used and depicted as for whom? Aha. I would have to say to people out there, beware when you use God's creations, okay, out there, and use them to depict something that has nothing to do with an animal or plants or a tree or dirt or mountains, right? But is of human making, man's making, okay? Yeah? What? Because you can't keep your thoughts proper and in check? You have to have something where your own behavior can be excused? I'm just saying, yes? Well, anyway. All right, so here it says it's horns. God forbid there be horns from a goat. Daniela, well, I can't help it. Dear me, don't people think out there? Ugh. The horns must be of a piece with it, and you will overlay it with bronze. And for it you will make pans for taking away the fatty ashes, and shovels, sprinkling basins, hooks, and fire pans. You will make all the altar accessories of bronze. You will also make a grating for it of bronze network, and on the 4 corners of the grating you will make 4 bronze rings. The one guy who showed that in the video is that, of course, the acacia wood, no matter how good of a wood it is, except for there is some wood that will not burn, okay? If it is collected at just the right time, a particular wood, this and that, it will not burn. It'll get black, but it won't burn. And so they put bronze plates on the outside of that offering pit, and so that it also reflects the heat out, and the heat doesn't just stay in the pit. And it, of course, protects the wood. Pretty amazing, right? Yeah, well, there you go. Well, anywho. You will put it below the ledge of the altar, underneath, so that it comes halfway up the altar. Oh, that is okay. You will make shafts for the altar, shafts of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. There we go. The shafts will be passed through the rings in such a way that the shafts are on either side of the altar for carrying it. You will make the altar hollow out of boards. You will make it as you were shown on the mountain. got to clean my glasses. The court. Then you will make the court of the dwelling. On the south side, the curtaining of the court must be of finely woven linen, 100 cubits long for the first side, its 20 poles and their 20 sockets being of bronze. That's what I saw. Oh, that's why. Oh, it's just coming up now. No wonder. That's the court, the outside part, all around it. And the poles, hooks, and rods of silver. So they too, for the north side, there must be 100 cubits of curtaining, its 20 poles and their 20 sockets being of bronze, and the poles, hooks, and rods of silver. Across the width of the court on the west side, there must be 50 cubits of curtaining with its 10 poles and their 10 sockets. The width of the court on the east side facing the sunrise must be 50 cubits, with 15 cubits of curtaining on one side of the entrance with its 3 poles and their 3 sockets. And on the other side of the entrance, 15 cubits of curtaining with its 3 poles and their 3 sockets. And for the gateway to the court, there must be a 20-cubit screen of finely woven linen embroidered with violet, purple, red, purple, and crimson, with its 4 poles and their 4 sockets. So, violet, purple, what color is that? Huh? And we have violet, purple, red, purple, and crimson. Red and purple makes a deeper purple, doesn't it? Yet, what I've seen in the videos, they said blue. I'm going, huh? How did you guys get the blue? Right? It doesn't say anything about the color blue. And they're trying to go, all right, how do you make the color blue? Well, anyway. So I wonder, again, how are the translations? And blue surely must have been, again, what can you use to dye something blue at that time? Mix some colors with it. But again, what are they? Yeah. Surely no red and red is making any kind of blue. No. Well, anyway. Hey, as I said, why did they change that in other Bibles? I don't know. I have no idea. All the poles around the court must be connected by silver rods. Their hooks must be of silver and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court must be 100 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 5 cubits. All the curtaining must be made of finely woven linen and their sockets of bronze. All the accessories for general use in a dwelling, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court must be of bronze. In one of the videos, one guy also says that now you got to imagine all the gold and bronze and silver and other, precious fabrics and who knows what were all used in that, and how difficult it must have been for the Israelites to get that all together. And I'm saying, wait a minute, how many people were there, right? Yeah, that'd be difficult for maybe 20,000, 10,000, 20,000. We're talking over 1 million of people. Then when you think, and again, it was not donations that were forced out of the people. They were voluntary. That's what it said here. Voluntary giving. What the people could and are willing to give. And so then I'm thinking, when I look at the dimensions of it all and then seeing it, okay, it's actually a structure that has a square top, and then it goes down like this on the sides. That's what they're assuming. The interesting thing too about the actual tabernacle it's like I had, okay, when I consider a mercy seat, okay, a mercy seat, a seat. Now I'm envisioning something where I'm sitting on, God is sitting on, right? So it's got to be comfortable, right? Well, okay, well, so God doesn't have physical form. All right, so what? And on the way that, and sure enough, it shows all angels or winged creatures. Okay, so, and it's interesting on how the way they are depicted is, I'm going, man, that's gotta be uncomfortable to sit on that. There were so many different varieties on how people depicted that, on what that looked like, right? What was it actually like? We have the absolute instructions here, and we can't come up with, okay, no, we don't get to just do it however we want to do it. How about we follow exactly what it says here? So, can we come to a consensus on what that actually looked like? Yes? Again, how often do we do that? We say, well, we're going to fix it so that, we're going to do, say it's like this rather than this, kind of go around a little bit of the design. For what purpose? Because it suits us better? Okay. Just saying. Right? Anywho, all interesting stuff. Oh, and I saw that, sure enough, it was, I wasn't wrong about the lamp. And yet again, I looked at the lamp going, yeah, that's the simpler design now that we have, but I don't think that's what it looked like. Uh, and they said the name of it. And I'm going, yeah, that's exactly it. Ugh, Daniela. Well, anyway, right? And but from the way that it was described on how it was made, to me, seems like it's a little bit different than the simpler version that is now used, right? Well, anyway, the oil for the lamps. You will order the Israelites to bring you pure pounded olive oil for the light. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've seen someone make candles actually with olive oil. Yeah, that looked really interesting. That's what the, okay. All right. And to keep a lamp burning all the time. And that is 100% possible. Aaron and his sons will tend it in the tent of meeting outside the curtain hanging in front of the testimony from dusk to dawn before Yahweh. This is a perpetual decree for all generations of Israelites. Interesting. The oil for the lamps. Think too, when you, that's the end of 27. I think too, when you really invest yourself into a project, right? And when that project, in a way, is given by someone where you're fulfilling a contract, then you want it to be the best possible thing, right? Yes, especially when it's for someone else. It seems to me like with all these chapters of the tabernacle, building the Ark of the Covenant, that the Israelites were doing in ways where I can see many, many people involved in it, right? It's almost as if when you're putting so much of your riches, so much, again, how much was that considering the amount of people that were there, right? Yes? Yet, when everybody pulls together and you built this just fantastic, beautiful, wonderful thing, right? Where your mind, your heart to mind should always be connected to. You want to do the absolute best. And when you give your absolute best to something, then you care about it, right? Yes, you truly care about it. And I think for God, it isn't necessarily, oh, yeah, I want the richest, the best, or this, or it's the care that He was looking for in the people. Yes? Interesting. Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to share this morning. I've got work to do still, cleaning. When I start, it's a never-ending story. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share this morning. I'm sure there's more to come. Interesting to go and try and find some videos on what did that actually look like, because I kind of couldn't make it. Again, I'm not a, how do you say, expert, right, at any of this. And at building something like that, and to go and see, and yet to find all these diverse videos of on how people today, 50 years ago, today, 20 years ago, on how they viewed or thought that this whatever was built. Oh, another one, last one. So many different, right? But as far as I'm concerned, there's only one way, and it's given right there, right? Yes. One in particular. Be nice if, well, okay, all right, I'm not going to go there. Another thing, where is the ark now? Where is the tabernacle now? Where did that go? Nobody really knows. Most likely, during the war in Babylon, it was destroyed. Gold melts, wood burns. And that is that. And if anybody were to actually have it somewhere, you can't tell me it wouldn't be on display to make what? Money, money, money by the pound. That's what I think. Oh, is my thinking right? I don't know. But that's kind of what seems to be the best of the truth out there when it comes to that. So, yeah, it most likely has been destroyed in a war. Very sad, isn't it? Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. That's all I have to share today. God's love and blessings always, and may He protect you, and I will talk to you another time.